Ryan Woolridge with a question. We can touch on that at the end of the show, but let's get through these breakdowns because we have our Sunday nighter here. Our Sunday nighter will be live for this one. Troy will be with me, as will Mike M. The three of us will get this game started. We'll have other guests join us throughout. Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots. We're at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, 66 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 4 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for our final game on Sunday evening. We have these Dolphins opening up at -2 at Pinnacle. They're now -2.5. That -2.5 also was -116 for a little bit. It's down to -111. But we have a move towards these Miami Dolphins. Let's move over here to the total in this one. We're sitting at 46.5. This opened up at 46.5, so there's really been no movement. There was a move towards the over, but it's bought back, so no movement. Let's go over to the cash flow then for this one. We have 72% of tickets and 68% of cash on the Dolphins. Then we have 63% of tickets and 57% of cash on the over. This is a real tricky game. The Dolphins' offense obviously looked exceptional in their victory over the Chargers. Closed as 3-point dogs. Tua Tagovailoa, no quarterback's ever thrown for more yards against the Chargers than Tua did Sunday in the history of the franchise. 28 for 45 for 466 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Tyreek Hill says he's going to catch for 2,000 yards. Well, that's a good start. 11 catches for 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle had 4 for 78. Raheem Mostert led the ground game with 10 carries for 37 yards. How many year after year after year the Dolphins just don't have the ability to run the ball effectively? The Dolphins had 30 first downs. 23 were through the air. 9 plays over 21 yards. The defense rarely got stops, but it didn't matter with the offense humming like this. They got gashed on the ground for 234 yards and 3 touchdowns. Javon Holland, 14 tackles. Deshaun Elliott had 13. Squad finished with 3 sacks and 5 hits. Patriots coming off that 25-20 home loss to the Eagles. They closed as 3.5-point dogs. Patriots outgained the Eagles 382 to 251. Couldn't come away with a victory. What a breath of fresh air it is to see Bill O'Brien leading this offense and not, Patricia's fucking pencil. Mac Jones, 35 and 54 for 316 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Interception return, 74 scored by Darius Slay. Kendrick Bourne had 6 catches for 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hunter Henry caught 5 for 56. Ramondre Stevenson, God, does he look good out of the backfield. Woo-wee. 6 catches for 64 yards. I mean, he is such a weapon for them. Now, he didn't look good on the ground, 12 carries for 25 yards. And Zeke, it's too bad he lost that fumble. I mean, trying to build trust. He ran 7 times for 29 yards. The injured offensive line got better as the game went on, and that was a very tough Eagle front 7 they went up against. Cole Strange and Mike Onwenu both inactive. So you saw Antonio Mafi and Ypsilanti's own City Sao at left and right guard. They got better as the game went on, and that's a really tough group they were going up against. The defense looked strong. They were able to put pressure on Hurts despite the Eagles' excellent offensive line. 3 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, held the NFC champs to just 251 yards. This is such a tale of 2 different styles that I find it really difficult to game script. Take it away for us here. Our Sunday nighter, Troy, will be I'd like to have pregame action when we have our Sunday nighters. I don't need to, but I'd like to. But we'll be hammering this one live. Take it away, Dolphins, Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking for live action on the Patriots in this game. I moved up the Mac Jones in the power rankings and their offensive line. I gave both of them a little bit of a boost because I think the new offensive coordinator, like you said, breath of fresh air. But this game started off so awkward with the Patriots and the Eagles. I think it distorted some of the numbers to at least some extent. It's at least notable. The Patriots offense looked night and day better than what it was last year versus a great Eagles defense, mind you. Mac Jones, 316, 3 touchdowns, and he only threw for 300 yards 2 games all last season, and one of them was against the Vikings. So that remains, it's a little bit of an outlier. But their offensive line did not project out very well, but that's a little bit of an asterisk because you got the Eagles defense, who we know has studs all over the field. The defense is better than advertised. I think they're underrated. So I gave them boost in the power rankings as well. They ranked 7th in run defense and 1st in coverage. 7th in both run defense and coverage in week 1, only allowing 170 yards through the air. and the 4th highest pressure rate in the NFL. I still think I want to see more of the Patriots, but I think if they can control the ground, I mean, we've seen what the Chargers were able to do against the Dolphins, and I don't think that the Chargers all of a sudden have this miraculous run game that they can lean on. I think that's a hole that this Dolphins defense has. Now, maybe you could trust Vic Fangio to fix that up, and maybe it's going to be a complete different approach. It definitely is, because you're playing the Patriots and not the Chargers. Complete 2 different game scripts completely. But this was, I mean, how impressive was this Dolphins team in Tua Tagovailoa in week 1? They led week 1 in air yards by 50%. It's not even close. Like the amount of passing yards they covered through the air. I mean, it was just Tua was not sacked once despite 16 blitzes. This game is really tough. I think this line is short based on what we've seen in week 1. So that makes me start leaning towards the Patriots. I trust Bill Belichick to have a scheme to be ready for Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins to come into Foxborough. And I think that this is a perfect live betting opportunity. If I see the offensive line having success and they're able to run the ball, I'm going to be on the Patriots pretty damn quick.
Do you put any credence into the back-to-back road situations and the difficulty of that to start off the season?
I will definitely look into that more. I haven't really dug into that very much, Jimmy.
I guess I'm starting to feel some comfort in this game. The comfort leads me to the Patriots. The problem is that I have a bias from watching that game.
Me too. I watched every snap. Yeah.
So that's just a problem that I have to deal with, and it's in my head, and I've often thought that those cappers that don't watch the games and just beat the market moves and then go out for dinner like Spanky and those guys, they have it better off than us who are living and dying with every first down because of our action. And I'm going to need more time on this spot here, but I fear Tua. I have such fear. And the problem is, if I need a touchdown from the Patriots, can I get it? That's the problem. I just don't want to be in that situation where I need Mac Jones to put points up on the board. I'd much rather be in a situation where Bill Belichick's controlling the clock and controlling the game. Right. So, tough spot. Ryan Woolridge wants to talk about the Survivor board. If anybody likes a spot in the Survivor board, let Ryan know. Ryan, we can touch on that briefly at the end of the show, but we have been here for over 2.5 hours, and we got 2 more games left, so we got to keep rolling right now. Johnny Gunn says, what's your fear to 466 yards passing against a healthy Chargers defense?
Not sacked once.
It was he was he looked like the MVP of the league out there. So yeah, that's my concern. Now, we just saw what Belichick did to Jalen Hurts, and so what Hurts throw for 177 yards or something like that? I mean, that makes me think that Belichick can put something together, and that Bill O'Brien is capable of us forgetting what Mac Jones looked like last year. But I just need a little bit more time here. Big O says, we just witnessed Miami go to one of the best teams AFC house and beat them in a shootout. He's on Dolphins minds too. So that's my problem. My problem is exactly what Big O's saying. Like, I can't get over that. I just can't get over it at this point. So I'm going to need more time, but I'm just going to need more time to study it. All right, let's move on.